Good afternoon, guys. I have discussion A for you. Give me a little bit, or give me a couple seconds, and we'll get going with the show. Let me put the topic up for y'all, and then we'll get the show going. Okay. Now, this afternoon's topic A, I'm doing a narrative on growing old with tech supports from smart technology. So here we go with the narrative. Okay, I'm growing old at home. How age tech quietly rewrites the last third of life. Okay. You don't notice the first shift. It's small. The porch light that clicks on automatically when you step outside at dusk, or the thermostat that nudges the temperature up before your feet hit the floor in the morning. These are conveniences, not lifelines, but they are also the earliest signs of a new era in aging, one where technology doesn't replace human care, but quietly expands the possibility of staying home. For most older adults, home is not just a place, it's an identity, memory, and autonomy. It is the last environment where they feel fully themselves. And yet, historically, home has been the first thing surrendered when health declines. The stairs become treacherous. Medications multiply. Chronic conditions demand vigilance. And the simple act of living alone becomes a negotiation with risk. Age tech is changing that negotiation. The home becomes a partner, not a hazard. The modern smart home is no longer a novelty. It's a safety net woven into the walls. Motion sensing lights reduce falls. Voice assistants let you lock the door, call your daughter, or turn off the stove without standing up. Sensors tucked discreetly under the beds or in hallways learn your patterns when you wake, how often you move, whether you've opened the fridge today, and can alert caregivers when something seems off. These tools don't shout, they whisper. They preserve dignity by making support ambient rather than intrusive. Healthcare arrives without the drive. Telehealth used to feel like a, a compromise. Now it feels like access. For an older adult with arthritis, heart failure, or mild cognitive impairment, the difference between a virtual visit and an in-person appointment is not convenience. It's feasibility. Remote patient monitoring brings vital signs to clinicians in real time. Smart pill dispensers prevent missed doses. Wearables detect irregular heart rhythms or falls before they become crisis. The home becomes a clinic's the home becomes a clinical space without becoming a medicalized one. The technology recedes into the background. What remains is the feeling of being cared for without being uprooted. Care becomes coordinated instead of chaotic. One of the quiet tragedies of aging is fragmentation. The medication list that changes monthly. The specialist who don't speak to one another. The adult children who try to track everything in a shared spreadsheet that inevitably breaks. The age tech is stitching these fragments together. Digital care platforms now allow families, home health aides, nurses, and physicians to see the same information at the same time. A missed medication dose, dose triggers an alert. A sudden drop in mobility prompts a check-in. A new symptom can be logged before it becomes an emergency. This is not surveillance. It is scaffolding, a structure that supports independence rather than replacing it. Loneliness meets its match. Isolation is one of the most dangerous conditions of old age, and one of the least treated. Age tech is becoming Age tech is beginning to address it with the seriousness it deserves. Video calling platforms designed for older adults remove the friction of passwords and menus. Social engagement apps connect people to book clubs, exercise classes, and religious services, even AI companions. Used thoughtfully, can provide conversational support that reduces anxiety and encourages daily routines. Connection becomes accessible again, even when mobility is limited. The future is not robots, it's relief. There's a tendency to imagine the future of aging as robotic caregivers rolling through living rooms. And yes, robotics will play a role lifting, transferring, fetching, stabilizing, but the deeper transformation is quieter. It is the shift from crisis driven care to anticipatory care, from dependence to supported autonomy, from I can stay here to how can I stay here safely. Age tech does not promise immortality. It promises something more humane, the ability to remain yourself in your own home for longer. Aging in place becomes a collective act. The most profound impact of aging tech is not technological at all. It's it is culture. When older adults can remain at home safely, communities change. Neighborhoods become intergenerational again. Families experience less burnout. Health systems shift resources toward home based care. Policymakers began to see aging not as a social burden, but as a infrastructure challenge, solvable, scalable, and worthy of investment. Aging in place becomes not an act of subordinateness, but an act of design, the quiet revolution. In the end, aging tech is not about gadgets. It is about preserving the ordinary rhythms of life, walking in your own waking in your own bed, brewing your own coffee, hearing the familiar creak of your own floorboards. It's about it's about extending the years in which home feels like home. The revolution is quiet, but it is already here. And for millions of older adults, it is rewriting what it means to grow old with ease, safety, and dignity. Okay, guys, that is A for you. I'll see if I can do a B in a bit. Give me a few minutes for a break, and then we'll set up for B. Till then, Gator Wellness, Take care, folks.